We've been to several parks during the Christmas holiday season, but there are 5 that stand out as our absolute favorites to visit. While in recent years, many different theme parks have started having a holiday celebration and festival, several years back, that number was limited quite a bit. And when we were living down in Florida, we were really excited to be able to experience several theme parks that had outstanding holiday celebrations. Over the years, we've really kind of had a number of favorite experiences, and we've seen a lot of different parks, but there were really 5 that were just head and shoulders above the others. Because most of it was down in Florida, that's going to dominate this list of 5 parks. But not all of them are from Florida. In fact, my favorite park during the Christmas holiday season isn't from Florida. Which one is it? You're going to have to wait and see. Number 5 in our list of top 5 was Disney's Hollywood Studios. At the time, it was known as Disney MGM Studios. And it had an incredible holiday season. In fact, it was actually so good that the reason it's not higher on this list is because several of our favorite things aren't even there anymore. Otherwise, I probably would have had it at number 3. Back at the time, Disney MGM Studios actually had a parade. It doesn't even have a parade anymore, which is really sad. They had the Stars and Cars motorcade. For Christmas, it also became a Christmas parade, and it was just a lot of fun. They had the Disney characters strolling down the street. They were coming down in cars, kind of like Hollywood celebrities do for the Hollywood parades. And it just made for a lot of fun and fit the atmosphere of the park so well at the time. That was one of the best things during Christmas. They also had, of course, the decorations, and the streets looked just like something you would see in Hollywood with the decorations there. And it was a really pretty park. But probably the most outstanding part of Disney MGM Studios at the time was the Osborne spectacle of dancing lights. They would take the whole backlot area, which is the place that looked like New York and San Francisco, and it was just completely covered with millions of lights. These lights would dance to music like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, just an incredible, beautiful, gorgeous display. Almost to the point where it could almost be overwhelming when they were dancing and flashing, and just amazing. When it was done flashing and dancing, then it would snow. It just made for a really neat time. I was blessed to be able to work several times as a photographer in the area, and so I got paid to stand there and watch the lights and look around and have fun. They would also serve hot chocolate, gingerbread cookies, and other goodies in the area. It just made for so much fun. I understand why they took out the whole area. They're replacing it now with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but it was really just a neat thing to see. The lights are all gone now. Disney scrapped some. Others they actually returned to the Osborne family itself. But as far as being able to see that whole display, it does not exist anymore. And that's really kind of what knocked studios down. What's it going to be like when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens? I don't know. Currently as it is, there's not much going on in Hollywood Studios for the holidays. So if I were to mark it as right now, it probably wouldn't even be in my top 5. But at the time, it was amazing. Number 4 is not a Disney park, but it is also in Orlando. And it's actually 2 parks. I'm going to kind of group them together as one because we would hop back and forth and we really would experience it as one. So number 4 on my list is Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Over in Islands of Adventure at Seuss Landing, they would have Grinchmas. The Grinch would come out and he would meet people. They actually had a whole themed snow sledding area where you could go play on that. Turned the whole Seuss Landing area into this big Christmas themed area. It was just a really neat, fun experience to be able to have. And my kids loved it. And hey, I wasn't the only Grinch around at that time, which made it fun. But not only did they have Grinchmas over at Islands of Adventure, but if you went over to Universal Studios itself, they would actually bring down balloons from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York. And they would actually have an afternoon parade with those balloons so you could sort of see the Macy's parade up close. They would get guests into the parade to help hold the balloons and have all sorts of other entertainers and, of course, Santa Claus. But then in between the parades, they would actually have the balloons set up where you could go and get a neat up-close look to them. It just made it for a neat experience to be able to take something that you saw on TV and actually be able to see it right up close in front and feel like you were a part of it. That was just a really neat, memorable experience. And we love to do that. That was actually when we were living in Florida. That was something that we tried to make sure we did every single year that we were there. Number 3, and that's actually the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. Magic Kingdom just looked like it turned into a completely different place at Christmas time. The decorations and everything would actually come out overnight. You would have Halloween one day, and the next day the park had been transformed to Christmas. It was this incredible overnight transformation. Just a beautiful park with all the decorations. They would have a special holiday show at the castle stage that, yes, a lot of those shows are cheesy, but this one was really kind of fun. We really enjoyed that. Of course, you can't forget the castle. The castle just absolutely transforms at Christmas time and is just gorgeous. Yes, they now have a whole Frozen lighting show, but it looked like that before Frozen came along. It looks like it's covered with ice. Just a beautiful, beautiful scene. And everywhere you turn, there's something else Christmassy. They have special snacks and desserts that are available only during Christmas time, and groups that would come out and play Christmas music. The Dapper Dans would do just Christmas songs, and it just made for a really fun time. And then if you went right before Christmas, that week before, the parade would be the Christmas parade, and it was a wonderful parade. Marching toy soldiers were great, and all the Christmas floats and the people you would see in it, and it was one of the neatest parades that Disney would do. Honestly, it would be in my top 3 parades of all Disney parades. Just a great celebration for Christmas. However, Magic Kingdom was not our favorite Disney park at Christmas time. That would actually be the number 2 park on my list, Epcot. Epcot had this amazing Christmas celebration. When we were there, they actually had these light arches that went out to the World Showcase. They're not there anymore, but they were just beautiful and neat to get pictures taken in, and just a really neat light display if you wanted the lights. But then when you got out to World Showcase is when Epcot really shined at Christmas time. Every single one of the World Pavilions would have a storyteller come out who was dressed in a costume and would talk about how that countries celebrated the holidays. Even those that didn't celebrate Christmas. You would have a storyteller in Morocco talk about Ramadan. You would have a storyteller in China talk about the Monkey King. You would have a storyteller in Norway that would talk about the mischievous elf and the Nutcracker in Germany and Père Noël in France. Every single one had a neat one, and we would love to just walk out and spend a day just listening to each and every one of the storytellers. And occasionally we would end up as part of the show, like my son did in Norway one time. It was a lot of fun, a really neat way to be able to see so much how the world celebrates the holidays. But also probably our favorite celebration in all of Disney was at Epcot, and that was the Candlelight Processional. The Candlelight Processional, they have a full symphony orchestra. They have a choir, the Singing Christmas Tree of cast members. Then they also bring in high school choirs from other local high schools and the Voices of Liberty, and just put out together this whole spectacle of music. But it's not just music. They will have a celebrity reader come in who actually reads the Christmas story straight from the scriptures. And so you would hear the story of Jesus being conceived and being born and the shepherds in the field, all surrounded by this incredible spectacle of music. It was amazing. There are reasons people wait over an hour to see this show. It was the one show that was overtly Christian who would talk about Jesus. You really wouldn't hear about him very much at the rest of the parks. There was occasionally a gospel choir that would sing at Epcot as well over near the fountain. But for the most part, you really didn't get any religion at all at Disney. But with Candlelight Procession, they made a big exception. We absolutely loved it. I know a lot of people who were not Christians that loved it because it was such a fantastic production. Yeah, there were a few. In any case, that was our number 2. When we were in Florida, that was the place we wanted to be during Christmas. But after we moved, we encountered another place that actually beats what Disney does. And that's my number 1 park, Silver Dollar City. In fact, Silver Dollar City's Christmas presentation is so incredible that it has actually won awards every year for several years as a nationally ranked best place to go at Christmas time. They have these incredible productions of Dickens' A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life that are not what you would typically expect in a theme park. They are incredibly well done. Fantastic music, incredible sets, well done acting. just above and beyond what you would normally expect at a theme park. Their saloon show, the Fa La La Follies, is always hysterically fun and completely family-friendly and safe, which is amazing for a saloon show. The train transforms into the Frisco Silver Dollar Sing-Along Steam Train and goes out into the woods with lights everywhere, and then Grandpa telling the Christmas story fully illuminated. There's a living nativity that they do as well with animals in it. And then this last year, they added in the Christmas in Midtown. The park already had about 5 million lights spread throughout the whole park. Just an incredible light display. They had a wonderful Christmas parade that was fully lit up, and you've got Rudolph and Bumble and other characters in that. But then last year when they added Christmas in Midtown, I mean, it just took it all to another degree. I haven't seen lights like this since the Osborne Spectacle of Lights at Disney. And in fact, that was actually kind of the model for some of the light displays. These are not the same light displays. They're absolutely different. They were built in-house by Silver Dollar City. I know the people who built them. They're not the same scale. The globe is really cool, but it is smaller than the one that was at Disney. The circular spinners are very similar, but they are not the same. However, when you're walking around in this area, it is amazing how bright, how well lit, how beautiful and gorgeous it is. It is an incredible display of lights. While you're walking around in Midtown as well, you can actually hear their musical Christmas tree up on the square. So it's not the same as the dancing lights at Studios was, but you can hear the same kind of music from their tree and then see the lights down there that aren't dancing, but it's still a very neat display. The square is also very well lit, and I mentioned the tree. It's just an incredibly gorgeous park. And then they also bring out all these food treats that you will only get at Christmas time, such as roasted chestnuts, apple cider, hot chocolate, and all of these wonderful treats that you can only get at Christmas. It is an amazing experience. There's a reason why Saturdays in November and December are far and away the busiest days that Silver Dollar City has, which means if you want to experience it, go on a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday is all right, or a Sunday. Wednesdays and Thursdays are your best day if you can go, and it is well worth the trip. Can't wait. We go out at least 2 or 3 times every year during Christmas, and we'll be out there at least one more time this year. What's your favorite park to go to at Christmas? I'd love to know. Is there one I've missed? There's a lot I've missed. I'd love to know which ones you enjoy going to and what's the best parts about them. Or have you had something other special at Christmas? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, hey, make sure you hit that subscription button and hit the bell so you know when I got new videos. Also, be sure to check the description below. It's got links to my merchandise pages and Facebook and Reddit and all of that. And if you want to know about Patreon and supporting me, like my wonderful supporters, there's a link below. They get all sorts of perks and benefits, and hey, they even hear about stuff ahead of time that nobody else does. Thank you so much to my patrons, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful and blessed holiday season. We've been to a bunch of Christmas parks? The Busch Parks and Universal and Silver Dollar City and several others. Oh my gosh. I'm just totally giving away the whole entire video. Back when we were there, and it was still Disney MGM Studios, they had the Osborne they and